This is from Team 45 League over on Internet Chess Club, and get 45 minutes to start, 45-second increment thereof. The biggest problem with the league that I'm working on helping is using your time. Okay, in my opinion, the number one reason people lose chess games is they move too fast. So, you gotta slow down. Your average chess game lasts 40 moves. Half the games will be over before that, half will be over after that. So you want to, if you're going to go to move 40, you want to have as little time on your clock at move 40 as you can, so you maximize your position at move 40, because by move 40 we can also tell what the most likely result is going to be. Like, are you going to win, are you going to lose, or are you going to draw? Doesn't mean those results will happen, but the likely result. So let's take our time and get there, okay? And I've seen many games where somebody ended the game with 20, 30, 40 minutes more than they started with. Now, this is criminal, okay? You're not helping your chess. Now, this site, I only analyze standard games. You want blitz chess, you go watch it. It's all over the place. You can play it all over the place. You're not going to learn anything. Stick here. I'll help you get it right. Okay. We have the French defense, Tarrasch variation. Now there's some of these lines. Black commits to getting an isolated queen pawn. I think that happens when you take, although black could take back with the queen. The advantage of the Tarrasch is that you avoid a lot of the winnower stuff, the double pawns. Okay, seems to be a book position. Now there is a threat here. White needs to deal with that. Okay, so interesting. Can black win that pawn? In some positions, he, in the advanced variation, he can't win it. But this knight isn't on this square. It's still back here on G8. And let's see, can black win it? I think he can, but I could be wrong. Okay, white probably gave up with it. Now the only question is, did this transpose into one of those other variations? Let me show what I'm speaking of, because my goal is to help you teach you the openings. Let's just back this up. I have all the time I need to analyze. Okay, what I'm talking about. Okay, white has a choice: bishop e2 or bishop d3. Now here, I kind of alluded to it. Black isn't threatening to take this because he'll drop his queen, or well, actually he'll have to drop his knight because he can't take back. Duh.
Check.
Okay. Now the key here is that after takes and takes, black plays bishop d7. Now this check is gone. Just like I was explaining, when this knight was here in the position we were at, the check was gone. So white is pretty much committed to giving up this pawn. Now, like for instance, white could castle here, and this will take. And go ahead and look this up and study it. White has supposedly adequate play. It's some interesting lines. If you want to get good at chess, you have to invest the time and learn some openings. There's no easy man's approach. Okay, so let's get back at where we were. So the only question is, does this transpose into one of those Milner-Bernie positions? I don't know. Okay, so a lot of times in these Tarrasch Frenches, black will counterattack the center. Sometimes it's the right thing to do, sometimes it isn't. Again, book knowledge will tell us certain things, but see where it goes. So now this could get risky. All right, this could get very risky. There's no rule that says white has to move his queen. Queen is not a king. I see two possibilities for white. One is to take this, and if this takes back, we have a choice. Pawn takes, and we have a choice of this check. So I haven't evaluated ball 8 out, but I see those. And I think both are promising for white. Although black is up 2 pawns, so white better make sure he gets something out of it. So he does take. And then here's black's wishes. Again, there was no rule that said black had to take that rook. See, I mean, we naturally expect it. That's what I did. So what should white do here? Is he dropping a rook? Did white get greedy and did black come up with something? Well, let's see. Very interesting position. Queen h5 check. I'm not sure if that's enough. Let's see what happens.
Check.
It does. Now let's see. You could bring the king here. I think the king is safe here. But I could be wrong. It could be safe there too. And now white's going to drop a rook. Kaboom. Wow. So, you know, my natural instinct was to take on e5. And so far, I would say I was wrong. Okay. How long did white decide on that move? Well, if this turns out to be a losing move for white, we can draw the culprit right here. Let me, because I'm trying to help. Let me show you a couple things here. Okay, number one, white is 6.5 minutes ahead on the clock. So for one thing, white could sit here for 6.5 minutes, and even if he still played rook takes e5, he wouldn't be any worse off the clock than black would. They'd be the same. Okay? Or white could take double that and take 13 minutes. And he'd still have plenty of time to finish the game. So, you know, this is why using your time allows you to think. Because if you don't think, you can't play well. So, I mean, I saw rook takes e5 right away. And I'm sure white saw rook takes e5 right away. But, you know, his clock only goes down 7 seconds, meaning he took 52 seconds on this move. So when I say a minute, 40 moves in 75 minutes, that's your average. Do the math. It's not just a little under 2 minutes a move. Doesn't mean you sit there and take 2 minutes every move. Sometimes you want to take 10 minutes, and apparently this was the time. So black is taking his time, and let's look at his move. Let's see. I don't know how long he'd been setting it up, but okay, here he made a commitment. Now, if black saw this all the way down to rook takes and bishop d4, black is a very, very talented player. If he's seen similar positions to that, he's still a talented player because it means he's putting out the effort. So I don't know, but let's see how this turns out.
Check.
So white's down a rook, or not quite that much. He's down the exchange and 2 pawns. Ooh, that's not good. White only has 5 pawns. Black has 7. Let's see how white handles himself here. Okay, white does have a lot of development. We got to give him that. Everything he owns is pointed towards the direction of the black king. Okay, right? And black still has the rook and the bishop he's not even using. This bishop's way out in the corner. The queen's on the opposite side of the board. Black's going to have to play some careful defense here. But if he does, I would imagine black is winning this. But you do have to defend. And, okay, this makes sense. Maybe he'll chase that queen out. Maybe he'll swing this rook over to help. Who knows? Let's see what happens. Okay, threatening a mate in 1. Threatening a pawn on h7. But at the same time, offering a knight. Does white have enough for it if black takes? Let's see. Let's look at this time. So it took about 3.5, 4 minutes. So very good. Good job on that. Okay. It's threatening h7 check, but is that so much of a problem? Black is tasked. If he does take this knight, it does bring this bishop into play to defend. Let's see what he does. He did. Now, so this is getting super serious now. White is down a rook and a pawn. Now you can argue that maybe White's up a rook because these rooks are useless. I mean, I had a game once where I sacked double exchange. His rooks were in the corner, and my bishops and queen was chasing his king all over the board. You can find that game at chess.com under my blog, Coach-Bill. It's my Brilliancy Prize game from 1990 from the U.S. Amateur Team West. But White's not entirely coordinated on negotiating a checkmate here. It's going to take him some time to get everything going. So that's kind of to be expected. Now there is a threat of a check. Let's see. Now if the check goes anywhere, Black could offer a queen trade here, something White cannot accept. Let's see what Black does. He goes this way. Well, he wanted to defend against the check. His file is open, and fortunately for White, this square is covered, so we can't back rank mate. So Black said he's just patiently playing defense. Maybe he's gonna, offer this bishop. Let's trade pieces. If you run out of pieces, I beat you. And White can't afford to trade anymore. Okay, so he chases the queen. Now, this isn't a mate threat, but who knows? Who knows what'll come up? If I was calling that a mate threat earlier, I was wrong. Okay, so White shuts the C file down. Does Black have time for B6? He might. Or does Black want to play something like Bishop F6? I ain't going to play B6. That's, it's unnatural. I'm kind of partial to this. That doesn't mean it's any good. Maybe I'm missing something. If I never miss something, I wouldn't be here. I'd be world champion, preparing for my match. Okay. But Black can hold that move. Let's see how White answers this, because you can't afford to keep sacking. Well, I spoke too soon. Maybe you can. I don't know. This square is covered. If you're trying to do a checkmate down here, it isn't going to happen. So I believe Black can just take that, and he does. And here now, where the threat is a mate down here. Okay, well, we can bring this bishop out. Probably put it here safely. Well, let's see. How about if we attack the rook? I don't know, it gets tricky. White had, it gets tricky here. Okay, bishop h5. White might play g4. And then if you take the pawn, you get mated on f7. So, if White wins this, he's got a lot. I have to give him a lot of props. Let's see. How do you defend this position? The threat is mate on the back rank. Well, one way is, another way too is you shut the file down. Okay. Now I was saying White can't afford to sack too much. He's just sacked a bishop. I say he couldn't afford to sack anything. If Black plays bishop f6, White's going to have to try something like rook takes f6, or rook g3, trying to win that bishop on the pin. I think I'll play bishop f6 here. Yep. So it's a very, very tough position for White. He's down a rook, he's down a bishop, and he's running out of material. So, we don't have time. Oh, wait, we don't have time for rook here. The queen was on pre. See, I missed one movers. even more so, it looks like this queen is almost trapped and has to take on c5. Okay, so he took, and black has suddenly had 2 rooks, but the 2 rooks for the moment aren't doing anything. But white better get a checkmate or a perpetual check here. And at the moment, he doesn't even have a safe check. Now he has a safe check, but I think black just gets defenders over there. So I don't know. Let's see. It threatens this, but maybe black can wiggle out of this. Let's see.
Check. Check.
There goes the king. If he runs away,
Check.
It's all over.
Check.
And it looks like he's run away. And now we don't have, well, let's see, white has the threat, bishop b5. We can check and pin the bishop. Then the king is a little exposed, but I think there's enough defenders. Now that's an oops. Unless black has enough. Okay, bishop b5 is coming. White has no choice. But black is going to have 2 rooks and a bishop for a queen, plus an extra pawn. So black has chosen to give back the queen. We'll come back and look at this position. Take with check.
Check.
Now, if the queen has to check, otherwise rook down here is fatal.
Check.
Now it's up to black or white can keep checking or cover his back rank. Let's see what he does. He covers his back rank. But black should have more than enough material here for the queen.
Check.
Oops. I hit those things. Well, now we know the result, which I didn't know. 1 second. Back 61. Okay. Let's since it's so far back, let's come back and try to determine if black needed to give up that queen. And, it took him another 30 moves to win this. Okay, so this is where, come on, get back up here. It's not maximizing like it should. Why isn't it maximizing? Oh, maybe it's this one. There we go. All right. Why does that check? What if black just played a6? Okay, let's try that move. Black has no checks. I'm sorry, white has no checks. And, you try to redeploy the bishop over here, you just lose it. And even if we didn't lose, even if there's a diagonal over here, this way you can go to, there's going to be a back rank mate. So, would seem, now see, how long did he take on, he went kind of quick. But, he is down to 8 minutes, but that's still 8 minutes. That's a lot of time. I mean, a6 just seems to end the game here. Black still hasn't connected his rooks, but that's not going to be that way for long. Let's see. We can attack a rook and threaten a check, but black can defend the rook and be prepared to defend this way, and then eventually and of course we had a check down here forcing this. So a6 seems to be the move here for black. So the biggest danger, let's go forward. The biggest danger
Check.
Black takes in doing this is he walks into a perpetual check or somehow drops one of his rooks.
Check.
And there goes the pawn. White now has a pass pawn for what it's worth. And the checks are still there.
Check.
See, they're still coming.
Check.
I'm not going to sit here and evaluate every
Check.
check. But so far, it looks like maybe, who knows, maybe white has or had a perpetual check.
Check.
You know, he's still checking. Now he finally ran out. Now it's black's turn.
Check. Check.
Here come the checks again.
Check. Check.
Now the king
Check.
is advancing up the board. So this is
Check.
working for black, but I think a6 earlier would have just won it. Now, if I miss something, laugh
Check.
at me. Have fun at my expense.
Check.
Okay.
Check. 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 Check.
You know, he's getting a lot of checks,
Check.
but that king is just working his way
Check.
out. And if you've ever been checked around like this, even if you're winning, it's not fun. Because you know you're that close by an oops to getting a draw. And that's the game. Well, idjit, I would say you played a really wonderful defensive game. MathBandit, you came up with a lot of creative sacrifices. I mean, I thought your play was running out, and you kept finding ways to make it better. So, good game to both of you. Okay.